Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening and good morning, and welcome to another episode of The View from the Afternoon. It's the highly anticipated, long-awaited sequel to mine and Choc's top 10 films list.
Yeah.
We were going to do like a few top 10 lists, and the conversation just took us away, didn't it, Choc?
That was a good thing, though, because
Absolutely,
that was
yeah,
a lovely
man.
chat,
Yeah.
a lovely, natural, long-ass chat where you, like, if you just fire them out quick, you don't really get to discuss it.
So I'm glad. Thanks for coming back.
Of course, anytime. I practically live at your house now, mate.
Some would say that. We need to speak about the rent contributions, but then again,
don't worry about it.
I think I've stayed at yours many more times than you've stayed at mine.
Who's counting at this point?
Not me, boy, not me.
What's staying at someone's house to brothers, eh?
Hey, where's the brothers around here?
Where the brothers?
I only see true blood brothers.
Oh.
Some
Eat
kind
your
of
heart out, Chris.
That's right, Chris. Chris still hasn't been on the pod. Chris is a goner now, man. You know that boy's a goner.
I mean, Chris, if you ever do tune into this,
he will. He is a big supporter of his boys.
Instead of being a supporter, be a blood brother and get the fuck on here, mate.
I remember Chris said many moons ago. In fact, you know what? It's a story for off the podcast.
We're getting off track.
We're getting off track straight away. So,
Typical.
me and Choccy, for those of you that didn't watch the last episode with me and Choccy,
Which you should.
Yeah. It's on the channel.
Listen.
It's on all major platforms. We were drunk one night and we were coming up with our top 10 lists of things, and it was just a really good conversation. We're going to go through albums today, which is no doubt a pretty interesting one for a lot of people. I think most of our audience is purely based on music. So, we'll just get straight into it, I suppose. And something to remember is these are pretty fluid lists.
Yeah.
They change probably day to day.
Yeah. And they're just our lists. We're not setting this is what everyone should think, even though we probably do feel like that. It is just our lists in the end. So if you don't like them, that's great. I'm sure you've got all the crazy frogs on yours. I'm sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, put yours in the comments. Let us know your opinions.
Let us know your top 10.
And let us know who's right and who's wrong. So I started off the films, Choc.
You did.
If you want to start off with your top 10 albums, do you have any honourable mentions? I know you had some of them last time.
Listen, I've got honourable mentions for this and next time we do any.
All right, cool.
So,
well, how's about you hit us with the honourable mentions?
I will.
And then I'll do my number 10.
Okay, so first honorary mention is Wolf by Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, boring.
Listen, that album means a lot to me. There's only a reason why.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
There's only a reason it's not on the list is because maybe there's a different album on there and I didn't want to just spam it with Tyler, the Creator.
That's a good point. I made sure my list was one artist per album, one album per artist.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Otherwise, it'd just be all the same bands.
So then after that, Because of the Internet, Childish Gambino. Love that album. It really kind of catapulted him from, Bonfire was like a nice album, but it weren't like really like, oh, you should really listen to this guy. Everyone was singing fucking 3005, man.
Good song.
Acid Rap, Chance the Rapper, won fucking award for it.
Chance is on your radar at all, man. I think he's shit.
Yeah, now he's fallen off real quick.
I never thought he was any good, man.
No, the Acid Rap was a great, like, everyone were buzzing.
That's one with his face on the front.
Yeah, and then, he's got two with his face on it. But that's when, after Acid Rap, that's when Kanye was like, oh yeah, we should work together.
This is why your CD flopped.
Yeah, that's a great fucking video where he just screams. I'm like, fuck me. Chasing Status, No More Idols.
Very good. Now that is a fucking,
amazing.
That's an album I'd never think of, but incredible.
I got to see Chasing Status like in Manchester while I was in college. And it was just like, it was at the pinnacle of when that album was out.
Sweet!
It was just brilliant. Fucking Hype is High. Well, I've been down.
Come on.
I've also got that's what I think it's that's what they all say, or that's what they say. Jack Harlow.
Oh mate, how is that even close to your top?
It's not. It's honorable.
All time.
It's just honorable mentions. It's personal preference, isn't it? I'm not saying
absolutely.
Not saying
preference.
These are Grammy award winning. It's just like I said, for me, these are like rotation songs that mean a lot to me. And like I said, they are golden. But I will start us off with my number 10.
All right.
My number 10 is Humans Gorillas, which is I think one of the best ways a band can move in a new direction. So when you think Gorillaz as not a hardcore Gorillaz fan, you're thinking of like the early days with like Clint Eastwood and
2000.
Yeah, and
maybe Feel Good Inc. I know it's not
Yeah.
the early days, but
that like time period for a lot of people. For me, Humans was like when they really just were like, you know what, fuck it, completely new direction.
is that after Plastic Beach?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think I've heard anything of Humans.
Yeah, so Plastic Beach was when they switched it off, but you could tell the sound was pretty much the same, still a bit moody and stuff. Humans is where they really just fucking make it. It's more of a party.
What's like the
fucking
big
thing.
song off Humans?
Ooh,
'Cause I'm sure I know it.
Satin Bars with Popcorn, the reggae artist.
Nope.
It's a fucking banger. I'm trying to think what else is on there. Ascension with Vince Staples.
I think this just passed. This was probably when Gorillaz were no longer making Bigot. I might be totally wrong here,
Yeah,
but
man,
but when the band kind of stops making the Bigots, but they keep making like the stuff for the. They found their cat where they want to be. Because what's Dirty Harry on? Is that Plastic Beach?
No.
What's that on? Earlier than after Plastic Beach.
Before.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know so little. Gorillaz' first album I ever bought, man. I couldn't tell you much about them.
But like Humans for me is like it's just everything on there sounds fresh. That's what I want from a group or a band or an artist that I follow for a while. That's what I want. Fresh music that I love. And it's like I can listen to that. It's got some absolute fucking bangers.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I would say like there's a song on there called Strobe Lights. It's a song like I would never expect Gorillaz to put out, but it's a completely like party kind of housey tech, like R&B.
Not their usual sound.
Yeah, normally it's all like moody and fucking like. Sometimes they get like a famous rapper or group to come and just feature and be like,
I'm still waiting for the email.
Yeah, it'd be like old Sally was on the fence and she sat down with her dog.
Yo,
yeah.
I'm here, sit down.
I came out the freezer, cooker, your mom. You know what I mean?
Whoa, I thought the Gorillaz were in the room.
That's it, mate. I'm one of Russell's ghosts. If
Yeah.
you're a hardcore Gorillaz fan, you know that man has some ghost up in his head.
I know who Russell is. That's about as far as my Gorillaz.
Nah,
know.
you know 2D, you know Noodles, you know Murdoch.
I know Gorillaz.
I used to have
just
on
not
the
enough.
on the CD where you got to go to, what was it, like Gorillaz Inc. or whatever. It was like a point and click thing on the CD. You put it on a PC and you could explore the studio, like Kong
that's
Studio
cool.
and stuff.
We had,
and it had all like hidden things. It had like Murdoch's MTV Cribs video
that's
on there.
cool.
It was.
I like the effort. I respect the effort. They did it with the first album, and it was it was called Gorillaz Geep Sim because the vehicle is
you could drive
it's
it.
called a Geep.
Yeah.
And you could drive that
around the
loop.
track.
Yeah, the track from the music video.
I have it somewhere at my mum's on USB.
Yeah, wow. You have to bring that round.
Yeah.
We'll do a Let's Play.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
But
But other than that, yeah, I think that is
all right.
their
Starting
best
off with
album.
a Gorillaz. Yeah. My number 10 is Don Broco.
Ooh,
Automatic.
really?
Now, I take music incredibly seriously, maybe too seriously,
Yeah, you are a snob.
and
You are a bit of a gatekeeper.
but when I really think about it, like there's not. I love Don Broco, as we all know.
Yeah.
But when I list off my favorite bands, they're never really part of that conversation.
Yeah.
But then when I really think about it, Automatic in particular, I love most of their work, but Automatic is such a consistent, unique, interesting sound that is not only an album that cover to cover is great, including if you include the bonus version with Money, Power, Fame, You Wanna Know, Bad Feeling, Boys, I'm Still Waiting, and Wrong Place, Wrong Time.
Yeah.
I think with the exception of maybe, I know each album has kind of a slower one, and I would probably want to do that as well if I was a musician.
Yeah.
But that whatever that slower one is, I could probably take or leave that. I forget what it's called, but
I can't remember.
it's not What You Do to Me. It's another
Nerve?
one. No, I like Nerve. There's something on that, but anyway, I can't even recall it because the album itself is so standout. It came out on the same day as Dr. Dre's Compton album, right? The long-awaited Dr. Dre album. And I remember I was like, I listened to Don Broco's and then I listened to Dre, and I was really buzzing for Dre. And I listened to Broco's, I was like, it's fucking amazing. Listened to Dr. Dre, I was like, pretty forgettable.
Kind of a miss.
Yeah, broke us straight back on. And then it was on such heavy rotation that summer. We saw him play it in full, like 3 or 4 times. An important album to me, all the same.
And that's what this list should be. Like, what has that impact?
That is it. And you know what? It might not be the deepest lyrics, but it's certainly 4 incredibly talented lads.
I think that
making some brilliant music together.
That is an amazing album. The argument for me is just, do I put that or Technology? And the only reason I don't know which one I'd have first is because I like them both equally.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I'm not like you. You're very good at like critiquing and really listening, and
I'm like Fantana.
Yeah, you're like the needle drop. I'm more.
What I mean is, I just watch.
I'm
Fantana.
more like academic, DJ academic, just
falling asleep.
Who are you smoking on? Because my top 5, Drake.
If anyone gets that reference, then you're a real one.
Yeah, you are a real one.
We fuck with you. So number 10 for me, big shout out to the boys. It ain't easy to make my list. Believe me, I have very high standards. But Don Broco Automatic. Yeah. What a great fucking record that is, man.
Up next for me, I don't know why my phone just took a screenshot, is Food, MF Doom.
MF
All
Doom.
caps when you spell the man's name. Listen, it's your favorite rapper's rapper.
I've heard this a million times.
Like I said, I know you think he's a bit like...
I respect him. I'm not an idiot. Like, I know rap. And I respect what he's done. I just don't gel with him.
I think his lyrics and his flow and the music, the beats and everything produced are fantastic. I think like he's one of those artists that you can't just force yourself to listen to. I know a lot of people I've met who are like, oh yeah, I know MF Doom, and they put it like they have like one song on the thing, and I'm like, you either like
rap
him.
Snitches.
Rap snitches is
telling on their business.
Sit in the cut and be the own star witness.
Do you see the perpetrator?
Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around.
Get the whole label sent up for years.
But they normally have like one song or something like that, and then I'm like, oh, what about? And they're like, oh, I just didn't like that one. I didn't like that. And I was like, you really got to like his flow and his wordplay is some of the fucking...
He's very clever, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very clever. And also it's mental. He was from the UK.
Yeah,
When I first found out that, I was like, nah, someone's lying. Like, this is some Wikipedia edited shit. It's from the fucking UK, and then he got fucking kicked out of America.
Like 21 Savage.
No, he was.
Was that 21 Savage?
Yeah. Well, because he was from.
He's a Brit as well.
He's from the ends in the UK.
You know it.
But yeah, I think the reason why that out of like a lot of people would have maybe like Operation Doomsday and shit instead is I just love the songs on it. You've got fucking
and it's all food themed, isn't it?
Yeah, all the songs are like, and also like one of the best things he does is he samples like fucking Fantastic Four cartoon and Spider-Man cartoon, the old ones, and he words it in great with his things, so it'll have something where like Doom, he's on that, some shit like that.
I thought we had MF on the podcast then, man.
I had to show some respect.
Sheesh.
But yeah, you got like Deep Fried Friends, One Beer.
Do you know what? Do you know why he never captured me? And it's not. I like his flow. I like his beats. It's just his voice.
See, that's what I like.
It's too like when I first song I heard was Rap Snitches. So I'm not a particularly deep one. And I thought I can see why people are talking about this guy so highly. But I was listening to the featured artist who does the first verse, Mr. Fantastic, which people say is actually MF Doom putting on a voice. But when MF Doom came on and he sounds like he's being recorded on, it just didn't do it for me. But again, it's not my list.
I just like it. It's got that old school aesthetic. It's not in your face rap what you hear a lot of time. It's not fucking sending disses at anyone. It's just literally clever wordplay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lost art today, isn't it?
Yeah. Nowadays you just have like
disses and braggadocious
and some corny lines. Corny lines are the worst. Where someone says something like,
"You say you a lesbian? Yeah, me too."
Fuck that song, man.
Girls like God, Drake. Come on.
What were you thinking, man? I mean, come on. You're literally at the top.
I go from you. Just mumbling it out.
Oh, it's some whack ass shit. But that's my number 9.
All right. So we got 2 rap albums. So no, Gorillaz isn't really rap. I mean, it kind of.
That one's not a rap album. I mean, it's got.
Food is.
Yeah, Food. What I'm saying is like Humans is like.
I got it wrong. Because you said Tyler for your honorable mention. I thought.
Oh, well, maybe Tyler's further on that list.
Speaking of rap, my number 9 That was your number 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My number 9 is an album that was critically important to me growing up, discovering the internet and broadening my rap horizons outside of one artist.
Yes, sir.
And it is not the most lyrically competent. It's not the deepest, but it's certainly one of the most important. Straight Outta Compton by NWA. I couldn't believe it when I first heard. Well, I'd be lying if I said like I picked up this album and listened to it. I heard Fuck the Police. No, I probably heard Express Yourself on San Andreas.
Really? Is that one of the first
Probably. I don't know. Probably. And that was probably what sent me down the gangster rap rabbit hole. And this isn't very far down the rabbit hole. This is probably top of the hole. Yeah. But I've been down the rabbit hole. And I come out the other side.
6ix9ine fan you are.
That's me. But Straight Outta Compton is such a great album. It was so important to the culture.
It will forever stand the test of time as the one of the gateways for what everything is.
Some of the records on there, Gangsta, Express Yourself, the title track, Straight Outta Compton, Fuck the Police.
Fuck the Police.
I mean, these are some of the first songs I ever illegally downloaded. And you think about Fuck the Police now, it's never been more important.
Yeah. I mean, like
I'm now, as a white, privileged man, starting to have a problem with the police. No, I'm not literally having a problem. But, like, I'm now thinking, fuck the police, because, you know, there's a lot of bad press about them and smoke without fire.
It's just
and it goes back to, like, you know, these boys were having this problem. I'm not having the problem. I want to say I'm not having the problem. But I'm seeing people around have the police now. Yeah. You're hearing about it in the news. Fucking Sarah Everard.
Listen, everyone's fucking today's shit. I can remember
police have never been less respected in this country.
I can remember being in the car with my dad and we got stopped because apparently he was speeding. He weren't. He were doing fucking like 30.
And these boys were talking about that in 1991.
Yeah, and it's harder then. It's harder then because for the record,
I think it was 91. Maybe it was 89.
Some of the shit they were doing.
It was 89.
Was not lawful, but it's more of it was just presumed that they were, and everyone was doing it. Ooh, I see this guy in this corner. He looks like the type of guy, we'll fucking beat him up and we'll fucking arrest him. It's just fucking
man. But, and really takes me back to a time in early high school.
Best member of NWA, quick, go.
Ice Cube. Ice Cube is one of the best rappers of all time.
Best Ice Cube's in my as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he wrote most of the album himself, but everyone likes. I would love. I'll tell you what, he'd be a dream podcast guest.
I just talked to him about 21 Jump Street. Are you really cool with that?
I can't do the Ice Cube face.
But yeah. Agreed.
Oh my God! What did you do to your hair? I love that.
Sorry, did we have The Rock in the building?
That's when he's on fucking Jimmy Fallon or something and he's got to say nice things with a gangster. Anyway, we digress. Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Very important. One of my top 10 albums of all time.
Very good. Very good. Number 8 for me is a strange one. And I say it's a strange one because a lot of people who are a fan of this man, this myth, this legend, probably would disagree with me. There's don't get me wrong, there are some amazing albums he's put out. He is at the top for the reason, but this one really fucking vibes with me hard. It's Views by Drake.
Okay.
A lot of people will say, "What the fuck do you mean? Views is awful. Views is shit." It's like, nah.
Views the one where he's sat on the Space Needle.
Yeah,
and he's Space Needle
on the thing. Yeah, and also it's the one that's got like One Dance on and fucking Child's
Hotline
Play.
Bling.
Hotline
No,
Bling?
it's not actually.
No.
I don't know. I know Drake. I don't know his albums. I don't know the split.
But it is just a no skip album for me, start to finish. I'll put that on when I'm in the car going for a drive anywhere. No skip needed. I think all the songs are between a 8 to a 10 on production.
Feeling a light to strong 8 on this one.
Well,
Transition.
But it's one of those things where I listen to that album just as a normal Drake fan. You know, you go, oh, Drake's put out a new album. I'll listen to it. And I can remember just having it on repeat to the point where anytime someone was, oh, do you want to put music on? It was just that album. And then when I was done with it, just play it again, but shuffle. And I was just like, it got to the point where it really started affecting me. And I was like, you know what? I think I love this album. I really love this album, and it has one of my top 5 favorite songs ever on it, which is Child's Play. And like that's such a like I imagine to him and to everyone else, that's such a throwaway song. Like, yeah, it's all right. Oh, it's good. It's not one of his best, but for me, fuck me, the first time.
Interesting, isn't it? How people make different connections to music.
For me, but the thing is, there's no like deep connection for me.
Yeah,
it's not like
sometimes
I'm not putting my
you're
head
allowed
in
to just like
sometimes it's
really
like I've not
it.
put my head in his shoe. Like I've not stood where he is and gone like, oh, I connect to that and stuff. To me, I just listen to that song and I said, fuck me, that goes hard.
Yeah, man.
Really goes hard.
Yeah.
And I can remember like when I think maybe a third date with Hannah, I blasted that fucker on full volume on my car.
I'm surprised she stuck around.
You know, she was like, oh, could you turn it down? I was like, shut up, bitch. Unforgivable. And I'm blasting it out. And I was like, this right here is a fucking anthem. And she went, all right, cool. And I was like, no, it's not cool. Don't you fucking forget it. It's a
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. You want this? You listen to this. Right? But yeah, for me, Views, strange one, because a lot of people will disagree with me. But yeah, I can't say a bad word about it.
Fair play, man.
Yeah.
So moving on. We're on number 8 now. Number 8 is a band that I got into way too late. Embarrassingly late. We're talking in the last 5 years I got into this band. But they've been around since the early 90s. And they are one of the biggest rock bands of all time. One of the most significant in terms of pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'm not really a fan of political music, but it just so happens a lot of the artists I listen to happen to be political.
Who you lying to? Oh, I'm not.
No,
but
I don't.
Like, fuck the
okay,
police.
let me tell you. Let me word it in a different way. I never am attracted to a band because of their politics.
Yeah.
However, if I listen to them and really like them, and it turns out they've got some politics in, then I'll listen a bit, right? If the 1975 came out with that Greta song, I'd have deleted them out of my life straight away. But because they'd already earned my trust, I gave them the time. I listened to the message. It's why I've never gelled with Shikari, because I've never heard a Shikari song that I'm like, amazing, because they're preachy from the get-go. And I appreciate the fighting a cause or whatever. Anyway, Rage Against the Machine's self-titled album. Now, we'll get into like track runs later in the list, but people talk about like what's the best 4-song run on an album, what's the best like solid 5-song run, and I can't remember specifically. I don't know the album as well as I'd like, but I know that pretty much every song with the exception of 1 or 2 on this record is excellent. It's got Killing in the Name, but it's also got Bomb Track, it's got Bullet in the Head, it's got Know Your Enemy, and it's just some absolute balls out rock and roll, super simple to play if you learn guitar. Just real hard rock and roll.
Yeah.
And they'd have been great at Leeds Fest. And I think we'll get them again.
Hopefully. I would say that if no one's really listened to them, just whack on. Go
just
on.
that album. Like, you don't even need to deep dive because most of the hits are on that album.
Not even that. Just go to their Apple Music, their Spotify, whatever. Just listen to at least 1 or 2. Choose any at random. You'll just enjoy it, and you'll turn around and say, you know what, I really like him. Most people watching this or listening to this probably already do like him. I'm just saying for those people that were complaining, the Dark Fruits crew who are all like, fucking what's this shit, mate? Get this fucking shit off, mate. I want fucking
and do you know
Oasis
what?
tribute band.
Cortina's just before Rage was people criticized that. That's a perfect booking. That would have been excellent. Anyway, Rage Against the Machine sitting at number 8.
Amazing choice. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to be honest.
Okay, I like that. You got another honourable mention?
No. Something I should really state, because you're aware of this, but I'm sure no one else is. I was brought up on soul, R&B, and hip hop. Then it at some point it was like early grime. That's when I was at school,
Yeah, man.
Start listening. And when I say early grime, I'm talking about like Dizzy Rascal, which isn't grime. It's just
one of the pioneers of the genre.
It's one of the pioneers of the UK sound.
I'll tell you, he was the earliest to grime, Raz. And I know people want to say
yeah,
I was, but honestly, like Raz got me onto grime
BBK,
when I was in year 8, and I'm 29, and he was on it before me.
Yeah, but he's got his ear to the ground. He knows.
He sure does, mate. He sure does. Got his finger on the pulse.
For me, I grew up on those things. So I had my stepdad Marcus, who really like made me listen to something I can remember listening to.
Rammstein.
Well, yeah, but like Ozzy Osbourne and shit like that. Things that I just never would. And then my dad also was someone who was why I am now is someone who will just listen to something because it's good. And I don't go, ooh,
you don't put it in a box.
Oh, it's because it's this. Oh, you heard this? It's a rap album. You should like it. No, I'll like whatever fucking music I like.
Yeah.
In saying that, I do have to apologize because a lot of these will be rap albums.
Mate,
but that's just
rap is the best.
That's just
is
because
the most interesting genre.
I gel so well with hip hop and.
There's no better way
R&B.
to tell us. There's no music that tells a story quite like.
But what's
rap and
funny
hip-hop.
is this next album at number 7 is neither.
Wait, what was your number 8?
Views, Drake.
Oh, sorry, yeah, shit.
This number 7 is neither rap nor hip hop nor R&B.
All right.
I'm talking, of course, post-human survival
Ooh.
horror. Bring me the horizon. Now it's a weird one.
Interesting.
It's a weird one.
It's a new release.
When I say a weird one, I mean it's a debatable one.
Yeah.
Like up until that release, you knew what my favorite were. I fucking put hearts on my fucking head for it. I used to fucking love Ammo.
Ammo's excellent.
That was
man.
another classic a band going in a direction that I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people would be like, I just want the old fucking Bring Me, and I agree with you. What's not to love about old Bring Me with Ollie just screaming?
A lot isn't because most of it's shit.
But Jordan really fucking
Jordan Fish is a genius.
really
man.
fucking brought that band to a new.
He better be
level.
getting paid like 60% of their
And
overall earnings.
on that note, that's why this album for me is the perfect one.
It's really. Do you know what? It's very, very good.
It's got everything for everyone. You like Old Bring Me? You've got fucking like Dear Diary, where you can really hear that fucking shit getting slammed down your throat.
The solo just after the first.
You've got
chorus,
fucking
excellent.
I'm trying to think what's more like Ammo. Fucking.
You've got the Butterfly song at the end. You've got.
I mean, that's the Butterfly song and the what is it? One Time One are the only two that I'm not a massive fan of, but I still enjoy. But for me, it's like you've got like Teardrops, Ludens, Obey, Kingslayer. I mean, fuck me, Kingslayer. I've seen Baby Metal, right? I've seen it.
I have, unfortunately.
And I thought I wouldn't like them. I was like, I mean, I think you're just pushing a thing here, being like, oh, look, it's cool because it's. But I enjoyed them. And then when that song came out, I was like, you know what? This is the song on the album. This is the song for me.
It's the song that when we went to see him in Liverpool went the heaviest.
Yeah.
People went ape shit during that.
And it's such a I think they've got one of the best things going, putting out any new songs recently have just really hit the mark. It's like they've got a dartboard and most people like are throwing it with a hand over their eyes and being like, oh, I hope it hits. They're fucking just hitting bullseye each time.
They released Ammo.
Yeah.
And then they released that other EP, which I'm a massive fan of.
Which
I think
I
that's
hate.
brilliant. And then this EP is great as well. To be fair, Ammo would probably. I'm too much of a snob to let Ammo on my list, and I'll admit that. But Ammo might edge in at a number 10 on a really specific day.
It's an honourable mention
because every one of these albums and artists are. Because I always try and look for more in them, and I'm too. What's the word? I'm too pretentious.
Yeah,
no, not perfect. I'm just too much of a prick to allow Bring Me the Horizon album to kind of.
You don't have to tell me, mate.
You know, I know a lot of our viewers and listeners love Bring Me the Horizon, myself included. I went to see him 4 times this year, but for the list like this that's so personal, they just can't get onto that list for me.
It's on there because I love Bring Me. I can remember going to what is it, South Seas out fucking Sheffield.
What's that? Festival?
No, it's like the shitty little venue bar thing that's near Crooks in Sheffield. I don't remember when I last went because it was fucking ages ago. But while I was there, I can remember seeing Bring Me there maybe once, twice. And then I can remember one of my first, I think maybe my second girlfriend was a massive fucking Bring Me fan. And I was like, yeah, they're all right, I guess. And she went, no, they are brilliant. And then she really like made me listen to him. And I was like, you know what, I do enjoy him. Then ever since then, I've just enjoyed him, followed him around on tour, go to see him every time they perform somewhere. And like I said, when we were at that Sheffield gig, maybe I did go and buy a hot dog in between their set.
Did you?
Do you not
Oh,
remember?
the one in Hull.
Yeah. No, in Sheffield. I got that big, massive hot dog that
I don't remember that, mate.
we went to get 2 pinters, and I bought a fucking hot dog as well. But it was mainly because I was having such a good time that
you needed the hot dog.
I needed the hot dog for the energy.
The good
we went
time
from
in
the
there.
back of the arena to nearly the front.
Of course we did. I'm forgetting the one you're on about.
We
yeah.
fucking like.
And we saw our mates near the front. That was good.
But that was because we were like, we want to go, because everyone else was still at the back. We were like, this is good. I want to get in. And that for me is why that album generates enough buzz for everyone and for myself that I put it there.
I respect that, mate. Good reasoning.
Danke.
So my number 7. We on number 7?
Yeah.
Now this album, I question putting it on my list because it's like the others on here, really important to me.
Yeah.
Got me through a really tough time many years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a textbook, brilliant album. The issue with it is it's been fucking ruined by like this Gen X. What's the gen underneath us? The fucking do-gooders like that are adopting it emo now as a label. Just the people that make me cringe. You already know the album. It's the Black Parade.
Yeah.
It's My Chemical Romance is the Black Parade. Now, another album where every single song is great. There's albums further up my list where there's skippable songs. Every song on Black Parade is excellent. Every one of them. And I try not to let the current emo boom affect my decision.
What's it called? We should fucking know this.
What do you mean?
The term. I know what you're on about, where they wear like the striped long sleeves with a shirt.
E-boy.
Over. Yeah, e-girl and e-boy. That, and also they're kind of like, they're like futuristic scene kids, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like they're not scene kids who get bullied, who were just happy with the music.
And even people my age who were never really into it, it's now kind of trendy to pretend that you're into it and
also
go
get
to these
preachy.
dog shit club nights that are like MCR themed where they play Sum 41 5 times.
Do you remember that one that was advertised in Lee's that we just saw, and it was like
it just looked
the official pop, and I was like,
oh God.
Listen, I've been to
leave all that shit at the door.
I'm gonna tell you, anyone listening or watching, you want a good like one of those nights that's not shit, just go Wrong Crowd or go to This Party Sucks in Sheffield. Both of them are good, and they don't try and oversell it like this is the place to be. They just play bangers.
The thing with Black Parade, so I listened to the title track, Welcome to the Black Parade. When we were out in Liverpool, it was on, and I just couldn't enjoy it.
Really?
Because it's kind of been ruined for me.
I have to be...
But removing myself from that and looking at the album, and it'll be important and relevant to me again in 5 years, and it was important and relevant to me 10, 12 years ago. It's very good. Dead is a great song. Cancer is
Blood
brilliant.
on there as the bonus?
Blood is on there. Disenchanted.
Helena?
No, that's on the one before. Sleep, House of Wolves. I could probably name them all.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good album, and it doesn't get enough credit as a straight up ballsy rock album. Like the guitar on that album is incredible.
That was one of my first CD purchases.
Yeah.
I was trying to impress a girl, and I bought it, and I played it at my house for like a week. And then when she came over, I just put it on so casually. And I can remember she was like, "What's your favorite song?" And I was like, "I'll be quirky and say Blood." Like, said no one ever.
Blood.
Yeah, I still remember Blood.
Gallons of the stuff, give me all and they can drink, and it could never be enough to give me blood. So when I first listened to that album, I was house sitting for a childhood friend. Well, it was actually, I'll keep this as short as possible. I was kind of house sitting with a girl that was about to become my first girlfriend. So I was like maybe
trying to show
15.
You were such a
give me a break, man. All right, I wasn't living the fucking life you
can
were.
tell wearing the fucking Disney Infinity shirt.
Hey, someone's got to wear it.
Jeez.
And anyway, like this album was on in the CD player, and I remember like we didn't get on, and we haven't got on really since ever, really, to be fair. But we just fell into a relationship and we loved each other.
Oh, that's such a poetic way of saying.
But
we just dated for a bit.
No, it was more serious than that. Like we were each other's first proper relationship. Anyway, a lot of that was soundtracked by this album through the positives and the negatives. And
you were a bit of a mosher as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a bit of a mosher, but I'm
For such a
That's why I hate these cunts appropriating my culture now.
What I was gonna say is like for such a cool guy and someone who dresses.
Stop.
All right, I retract that immediately. But for someone who has style, has a great taste in music, great taste in games, and everything.
You're so
else,
kind, mate.
Shut the fuck up, you buster.
Gee.
It's like I can't imagine you being at like school. And just being this really fucking like mosher guy, because like
no, I wasn't. I was plain as fucking. Yeah, because I'm pretty plain now.
No, now you're a hype beast. You just don't like putting it on paper. We are hype beasts. We can't hide that. If we see
I just like shit other people can't have.
If we see the Supreme drop and it has anything remotely good in it, we're straight into that hype chat.
If it's good,
but even when it's bad, we're just like, I can't believe they want to fucking.
It do be kind of bad, but
I did look at trying to get the Tiffany box logo, but I was like,
mate, that's a nice shirt though.
That was like, there were no chance the bots are gonna be like snapping that shit,
and they did.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on. Black Parade is my number 6, 7.
7.
All right.
7. My number 6 is, we're going straight back to the rap and the hip hop. Is by he used to be my favorite artist of all time. I grew up and kind of like not push myself away from liking his stuff. Just like the person he was becoming, I was like, oh, he's a bit of a cunt.
I think I got an idea.
He's a bit of a big-headed cunt.
I think I got an
but
idea.
But he's a genius still. Yeah. So for me,
is it my man?
Number 6 is Kanye West's College Dropout. And the reason why it's College Dropout and not like late registration or graduation or, I mean, it's not going to be like Life of Pablo or Don.
Dark, twisted fantasy.
Or Yeezus. The reason it's none of them is simply
Jesus
because
is king.
College Dropout was like the first Kanye album I ever listened to. Like, I used to go to my dad's on a weekend, so my mum would drive me to Watford Gap Junction, and my dad would pick me up from London. He'd come from London to that junction, pick me up. And
why the junction?
It was like a middle ground because my dad obviously worked all the time, and my mum was like, I'm not driving all the way to London every fucking time. And that album I would listen to in the car every drive with my mum. And then I'd eject it from her car and put it straight into my dad's car. And that were it. It was my favorite fucking track of all time. You got like Through the Wire, which is such a...
Is that... College Dropout. Oh, yeah. All Falls Down.
Also,
I'm thinking Diamonds. Yeah. I'm thinking of...
No, I think Diamonds... is that not Late Registration, or is it?
Yeah, it is actually.
It's got... what's it called? Last Call. Last Call is the most...
What's the other hit from those first?
I mean, you've got Workout Plan. You've got... you know what?
There's another big... There's a big one.
Yeah,
so
there's a few, man.
There's Through the Wire.
Jesus Walks.
Jesus Walks, that's it.
I'm trying to think here. You've also got...
Jesus Walks was never my favorite, but it's a good one.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with my phone. But anyway, it's loaded up now. Let's click on it. No, it's not. Fuck it. But like, new Workout Plan. I love the skits in between the bits of the song. What the fuck with that, Kanye? And shit like that. Or hey girl, you get that Kanye new workout video. That
was good in the music.
That for me was the prime. I know it's the first.
That's his debut album.
Yeah,
I know he was a producer for a while.
For me, the most underrated song on there is Last Call. Last Call is his, like, I would say it's his masterpiece because he's never going to top it. He's got Jay-Z at the start saying, you know, fuck you, Kanye. Thank you. First of all, fuck you, Kanye, for for having me do this bullshit, dumbass. And then he does, I'd like to do a toast to me, motherfucker. And it's just about his journey to that point.
Which is an interesting journey. If anyone watches Trap Law Ross, check him out on YouTube. He does a great story about it.
The rhymes in it, and the wordplay and the production of the music, man. It's
I
like,
mean, he's one of the most innovative producers.
You can say what you want about him. You can say you don't like him. You say he's a cunt. He's an insane person. He's a genius still.
You'll never be able to really criticize him because no one knows what it's like to be in a Kanye West position.
Yeah, Kanye is like a one of one because you can be an
He's the only person who has big, obvious mental health problems, and he's the only person where I see people just slate him for it.
No, and not only that, he's the only other person that people deliberately make it worse. Like you would like,
you'd never see that.
Don't let him run for president. Don't let him go on social media. No, let him because it's Kanye. Yeah, and it's like, but for me,
it's a shame.
That is incredible. Also, like Through the Wire, man, the man fucking went through that car crash. Fucked up his jaw. His jaw in the back of his throat.
Literally wired shut while he's rapping.
And then he's rapping. You can hear him. He's going, my jaw is wired to the back. My jaw in the back of my throat. And it's like, through the wire.
I thought he was on the podcast himself.
Oh, man. Got a chance to be with you. That for me is always Happy Memories. I know it's not.
It's a really good album.
I know it's not Happy Memories saying I was traveling through two parents that were no longer together. But like for me,
that's the thing. Like you were going through some that I didn't go through. For me, a lot of kids shouldn't have to go through. But you, the thing is, something you remember about that is having a great album to listen to.
Like I said, for me, it will always stick to me as one of the greatest, and the reason why I still like Kanye. Because like I said, I'd fuck with Donda. I listened to Donda.
I've not.
I listened to Donda. I listened to Certified Lover Boy. I like both. I said I liked both of them, and then I went, actually, Certified Lover Boy is shit. It's got like a couple of good songs. Donda's great. Sorry, I had like a hiccup and a burp at the same time.
I'm getting them as well.
These fucking San Miguel's,
man, they're not good.
I was saying last time I had a San Miguel, was like
fucking awful.
Yeah,
man.
I had it from like, because they sell them in Taco Bell, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a fucking San Miguel in like Taco Bell, I think, last time.
Disgusting. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, that was my number, 6, 7?
Yeah, number 6. Yeah. Switching gears completely from that.
Zoom, zoom.
There's very few modern, I say modern, this album's probably 20 years old now, but there's very few metal albums that are this consistently good all throughout, and I can't think of a more consistent, brilliant metal album than a band that's kind of controversial, and some people see them as a laughing stock, but I think they're one of the best modern metal bands of all time. Of course, I'm talking about the album. You may have heard of it, you may not. City of Evil by Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, I do know.
It's Avenged Sevenfold's 4th album. It's by far their best, I would say. It's at the perfect time where they were writing the right kind of songs for their, like, they weren't getting, like, they were just the right amount of kind of experimenty and not screamy completely, and in that kind of good zone that bands find themselves in the middle of their careers. And every song on this is brilliant, once again. And
what is on there?
Beast and the Harlot.
Yeah. You've
got my mind's gone blank now.
When you were saying it, I was like,
Burn It Down, Blinded in Chains, Beast and the Harlot, Backcountry, Seize the Day, MIA, Sidewinder's on there. It's just a great album.
Sidewinder on there?
Yeah, and his dad, Syndicate's dad, plays all the acoustic on that album.
That's sick.
So a lot of that's him playing, but just a really good metal album.
You know
I
what?
appreciate, I won't go too deep on it because most of our listeners probably don't know it.
Yeah. That was another, like I said, I went through a stage where in a weird twist of trying to rebel and trying to impress girls, I really did like a deep dive into just changing my music taste. I kept to like what I still like, but I tried to really force myself to listen to other stuff. And Avenged Sevenfold was like, I had a friend called, what was it, Ryan Dew? He liked Avenged Sevenfold, and he literally was like, oh, you should listen to him. And I just thought, yeah, why not? And I can remember, what's the song about him being
a Little Piece of Heaven.
Yeah.
That's off there. Another brilliant album they released just after that.
That really made me go, yeah, I do like it.
That's a brilliant... That's a masterpiece.
Yeah, we saw him download, didn't we? Well, last time I
can barely remember that, though, man. So long ago.
When I saw him, I was just like, these guys are great, and you know what I mean? It's one of those bands where you should really just fuck what anyone says, because there's always going to be someone saying,
yeah, like the metal elite hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
But they were the first band that I truly found myself and idolized. If I was a braver man, I'd have the death bat tattoo on my chest now. And I'm glad I don't. I don't.
That will be a funny...
At uni, I met a couple of guys from Avenged. I fucking was so buzzing. If you meet me and we talk about Avenged, that's a conversation I'll enjoy. Put it
Unless you're slating him to him and he'll be like...
yeah, unless that.
I mean, yeah, mate.
And do you know what? They've definitely fallen off, I'd say.
Yeah, but a lot of bands do.
But
like,
I think City of Evil...
Well,
even up to Nightmare, very, very good.
What's a band you can really think that's just still hitting 10 out of 10s that's like...
Well, maybe we'll come to that on the list later.
But what I'm trying to say is like a lot of bands, they have like a great track record.
Yeah.
They put one or two that are a bit, then they maybe put another good one out, and then they just kind of drift off.
I mean, let's be realistic. Like, we're super in tune with the Arctics, right? We love the Arctic Monkeys. But really, if you think about it, outside of the first two albums, aside from most of the people listening are their already dedicated fan base. I don't think Suck It and See was drawing in a ton of new listeners, a ton of new ears.
You can never tell.
And I love them.
You can never tell though, can you? Because it's like, as you said, it's one of those bands where you either if you're in a room with 20 people, at least 10 of those people are Arctic Monkeys fan. Yeah. Because like it just is one of those.
It's just so accessible, so relatable.
There's a lot of bands that are like that where you'll go in and everyone's either they are a fan, they're not a fan. But then you have to think like, when did they become a fan?
I'll tell you a band who's kind of fallen off. A band who I don't think will ever make a hit again. But it doesn't matter because they've paid their dues. Foo Fighters.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I'm a massive Foo Fighters fan.
Yeah, I love Foos as well, man.
The best live band you'll ever see. Yep. But they're at that stage now where they're literally in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? They are heavyweights of industry. Mm-hmm. And I think when you get to that point, if you look at their last two albums, I'm sure album-wise they'll always go to number one. But I can't ever see them having a massive hit. Like Times Like These, Best of You, Pretender.
I don't
think they'll ever have that again. I think
you're wrong. I think they will do...
I don't think they have had that for a while.
I think they'll do a song with an artist. They'll feature an artist, and it'll be because of that artist that he goes number one.
On TikTok.
And like, well, no, it's like, you could see it being like, I'm trying to think who, like, what, Miley Cyrus?
Post Malone.
It could happen. You know what I mean? But that would give him a number one again. Not an album again, because like the albums are like...
Albums will always be number one.
Exactly.
It's Foo Fighters.
But what I'm saying is like a hit song. I reckon
in terms of radio spin, I think
they've still got it.
Time's over. I think if they wanted to,
radio spin. But I think like
they're so... It's like AC/DC. Yeah. They'll never make another hit. But they keep putting albums out.
Yeah, but
they keep going to number one. But they'll never have another hit.
The different with AC/DC is they're not in the younger generation's eye. Foos.
Yeah,
Foos are. I mean, look at when Dave was fucking doing the drums with that young girl.
Yeah.
And it made buzz again and shit. It made our dear friend Emerson very angry. Remember?
I don't think they're past their prime. I think they've got years of great shows and number one albums, but I don't think they'll ever have another.
I think before we're dead, we'll hear at least one more.
I mean, there could be one more, right? Yeah. But my point is, they had a run of probably 20.
Well, here's one for you quickly before we get on to the next one. Eminem, do you think he will have another number one song? Because he's not. Because Godzilla wasn't a number one.
Yeah, but it wasn't released in that way.
But he did
Godzilla isn't a radio song.
No,
there's two sides of Eminem, and Godzilla was never gonna get spun on the radio.
I would say Eminem would, like I said, get another number one, but it's all about the feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Eminem's biggest hits of the last 10 years, both have had Rihanna on chorus, and that's what it needs. You need to dumb it down for. I'm sorry to say, I like Rihanna, but you need to dumb it down for radio audience. Yeah. You need to get, he did one with Ed Sheeran. Yeah. That charted.
Do you remember fucking Venom?
The less we say about that, the better.
Well, he did another one for the second Venom film.
Yeah, I've not even listened. I'm not even dared to listen to that
how does he have the cheat to get on this a second time? Well, it's fucking just like...
People talk, don't they?
Like, maybe...
Like talking about it now?
Maybe Eminem and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, eh?
Maybe. Right, mate. Hit us with your number 5.
My number 5.
We're breaking the top 5 now.
I know. This is by no means anywhere in maybe the top 100 greatest albums of all times to anyone else.
Doesn't matter.
This is only number 5 to me because it means a lot to me. and it's by a band that I introduced you and Raz and I think Jake or Danny in the back of my car on one tram lines. And it's a band that my good friend Ryan Jepson fucking was like, hey man, you should listen to this band. They've got a really good sound. You know, they've got quite a nice raw, like unfiltered sound. They're not like big at all. They're just a group of guys used to play in some shitty venues, but they sound good. And I was like, this is after he already told me to listen to like modern baseball, and I was like, you know, I like modern baseball. And he's like, tough.
Not bad.
They've broken up. They're never performing.
You're never
again.
gonna hear modern baseball.
The lead singer was like, I'm out of here. I'm talking about pop Morbid stuff. Now,
it's their newest album, right?
yeah. So, well, I mean, they had the what's it called? It's like
The EP thing, didn't
the EP thing, but it's the one for me where it's once again a song where I listen to it and everything on there is raw in the terms of like it sounds like it was recorded in one day.
They do have that sound.
The lyrics are like not fucking radio edited fucking type of shit where it's like we're hoping to get on the radio. It's not there to be like cheesy or something that you quote all the fucking time. You know, it's not a song where it's like, oh, everyone sings the chorus all the time. Yeah. It's one of those albums to me.
Music that's a labor of love, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really put out there just by a group of guys that just want to put out what they want. And for me, I've listened to all their other stuff, but that is truly one of the closest albums to my heart. I fucking spin that shit on my vinyl every fucking week at least once. I can't not listen to it. It's in my rotation for when I'm driving, in my rotation when I'm in the shower, when I'm on my computer. And like I said, if I'm just at home and I've got the record on vinyl, it's for me great. It has some of the catchiest like riffs and fucking flow of any type of like pop punky song. I want to say pop punk. I don't even know if it counts. It kind of.
I think it's a bit of an insult to call them pop punk.
Yeah.
I think they're better than that.
The only like what would you put them in? Because I don't.
Alternative rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they are pop punk. I guess. But
I can't.
When you think pop punk, you kind of think
pop punk.
A bit more dumbed down kind of music.
Pop punk. You think like Blink-182.
I don't even think that now. I think Blink-182 is more. I know the pop punk poster child, but I think the definition has moved to like.
Well, yeah, I would say maybe alternate rock, but for me, it's like it's one of those albums that if you're someone who likes,
pop sound more punk to me than pop punk.
Yeah, I mean maybe the lyrics as well, because the lyrics are all about like,
and they're yet to nonce anyone.
Yeah. And they did a lot of good shit during the lockdown, raised a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
They took it serious. They did some charity streams. And like I said, they haven't got an ego. What you have to think about, every big band or artist has an ego. Whether they are the nicest person in the planet, they still have an ego. An ego is like, we want to look good on paper. I'm the best.
My cheeks have gone red.
You're just flustered from that beer, man.
Do you know, I'm a bit worried, actually. We'll talk after this.
But literally, for them, like I said, they don't care if they're performing to 5 people, 100 people, 1,000. It's all the same to them. They're just there to put on the songs, and then after they're like, yeah, that was us. And it's like, I like that, man. And like I said, if you've got time, just put it on.
Morbid stuff by Pup.
By no means is it album of the year worthy any year. It will never be, and I don't think they'll ever transcend to a big time massive band.
Our word of the day there coming through.
Transcend. Even though they are currently on a lineup for a festival in America at the same slot as Biffy Clyro, which is just insane if you think about that. A band, I think they're from Canada, that used to playing fucking maybe something like Key Club as a big venue, end up now being in big writing next to Biffy Clyro.
I think it's more, they're probably still the same smallness, but Biffy are small over there. I don't think that's more of a testament to how small Biffy are.
When you look at that lineup that I've just said, there are like other artists that are smaller on
But it's
there.
just the American.
I mean,
You can't really compare.
I mean, put it this way: anyone who's going to 2,000 Trees next year, fucking listen to him because they're gonna be there
That's
and
true.
they're gonna be.
And
great.
a lot of these listeners.
Yeah, and what's funny is like Raz always says this. I want to like Pup. He's always like, I listen to him and I want to like him, but it's
good,
just,
Raz.
he's just like,
listen, Raz.
he's just like, oh, yeah, mate. I mean, I enjoy him. It's just I can't be arsed.
Hey, we might be on a track for our first ever 2-hour episode here.
I know.
Bloody hell! I'm meant to go to bed in it. Oh my god, it's almost midnight.
Well, you said, and I quote, "Oh, we could stay up for a bit. We could have a bit of a late."
Nah,
one."
we will. I'm having a good chat.
Right,
I'll
let's
jump
go.
in with my number 5. 5? Yeah. Truly the greatest of his generation, I believe. I listened to this album when it first came out, but in late 2013, when GTA Online came out, I used to sit in my mum's house where I lived in the hue of my TV, little TV next to bed.
Square or
No, it was 16:9. It's the one that's in the kitchen now.
no flare. Oh, I know that TV
Yeah.
well.
And I used to play it, and this album just took me to this place. It's a perfect storytelling, and controversially, it's his best album by a fucking mile. We're talking about Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar.
It is his best album.
Now, I know everyone loves To Pimp a Butterfly, and I think Jack Smith, if he's listening, loves To Pimp a Butterfly. I might have just made that up. I think he said before.
Yeah, I think he does.
And I like To Pimp a Butterfly, but it was just a bit too. I like the story of being in the hood, being like gangster.
The clips,
It
the
stems
sound bites.
from my, as mentioned, straight out of Compton. I love that album.
Yeah.
This to me, even though they're not very similar in terms of the way they sound or the concepts, it's the same umbrella, same kind of music. And I feel when I listen to that album, I listen to it in full. I very rarely just pick a song. And I feel like I'm Kendrick growing up.
It's another no skip album for me.
Absolutely.
I think it's a masterpiece.
Even the deluxe where all the skits are in it.
I think the skits make it more enjoyable.
They do.
It's got things like in the deluxe, you've got like Now and Never with Mary J. Blige.
Well, that's kind of after. That's like a bonus, isn't it? Because the story of the album ends, and then you've got a couple of extra ones like the Dre track.
Yeah, but I think there's no fault in that album. I can never fault it. And, for me, Kendrick put that out expecting it just to be a good album, not to be a fucking masterpiece where the old heads are all saying, we fuck with you, you got this. The newer generation say, you're the best in who I look up to. You have people like Drake, who at the time was like...
He's on the album.
Yeah, but he was on it, but at the time he was like, I'm rising up quite big, and like I'm getting Kanye a bit shook up and shit like that. But like then Kenny comes out of it like nowhere with this album. When I say nowhere, he did Section 80, but what I'm saying, he comes out.
This was his first major label.
Comes out with this, and everyone's like, "This is it." He's brought back a sound that we thought was lost to modern rap.
It's the greatest gangster rap album of all time because it's told from a perspective of someone who's not a hard gangster. It's told from someone who's surrounded by that. But that's why I can relate to it, because believe it or not, I'm not a gangster either. So even though I've never been in these
Disney
hoods,
Infinity shirt.
even though I've never been in the hood,
You have been in the hood.
I've been to Compton.
Stood on a corner
you
and
know
going,
it, boy. I bought a 40.
All right, I need to go. I need
Get
to
back
go.
in the car. But I think it tells a great story, and it's a brilliant album. It's the first vinyl I ever bought.
Yeah.
And I love it. Anyway, that's my number 5.
Perfect. It's perfect. Right.
What up next, Chuck?
What up next, indeed. Number 4 is my favorite artist of all time's most recent album. This man has the biggest impact on maybe my going from like fashion to music to everything in between. This man has been featured in GTA.
He has.
San Andreas. No,
San
sorry.
Andreas? I don't
Saints
think
Row.
so.
Saints Row is what we're trying
I've never heard of GTA Saints Row.
Yeah, it's the best one. It's the deluxe master
shit.
NES special. But he's in Saints Row the 3rd. Oh no, I can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
He's been in the hit show Regular Show as a guest
Loiter
appearance.
Squad.
Loiter Squad
Is,
is
if anyone's watched that.
he's had the Jackass boys all being like best buds with him. he went from a real controversial guy who just didn't really fit in with any other sound at the time.
Banned from the UK.
Banned from the UK by big old
Queen Elizabeth.
No,
and it's not Ronnie Radke we're talking about.
It was fucking Theresa May who fucking
it was.
Who else? He swore on BBC in a BBC interview. I can't remember which guy was interviewing him, but he just said old fucking people like you.
That was
got a lot of hate.
We're getting the full backstory here, man.
Got a lot of hate for saying some controversial things about the gay community and stuff like that, only to come out as, quite frankly, one of the biggest icons currently for that community. I'm talking, of course, about the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler, the Creator. And I have to say,
we got there. We made it. That was a big introduction.
His newest album, Call Me If You Get Lost, since it's come out, I've not had it off. It's like still in that rotation. Maybe now taking up top 3 most played albums of all time in my
that was quick, wasn't it?
library. I can't follow it. Right, so he put out Wolf, and Wolf's like still in his earlier era, is where he's finding his sound. It's got 2 songs on there that really emotionally get me every time, and I cry, and I'm like, man, this shit is like, I feel this on every level. And I really had to sit down with myself while I was writing this, because originally Wolf was there, and I was like, you know what? Call Me If You Get Lost is so good. It's so good.
It's transcended. Wolf.
It's transcended. It is literally in the eye of everyone at the moment, because people are saying, oh, you had Donda, you had Certified Lover Boy, and people are putting up fucking Call Me If You Get Lost, because they were like, it's just as good, arguably better than both of them.
It's a shame it's not talked about in the same breath, isn't it?
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, it's like, I know Tyler isn't for everyone, and especially his early shit. Like, man, I only got into Tyler's early shit because, like I said, I was a fucking cracked out hoodlum who just fucking I can remember starting skating and just being like, I wear tie-dye shirts, Huff socks and Huff like shorts. I skate everywhere.
That's how everyone starts.
I used to walk around being that. I was a weird guy who'd like. I bought like a carton of milk once and showed it to a house party, and I was like, "Let's get fucking weird," because I was like, that was the whole
autistic.
Shut up. The time capsule of the early Tyler shit.
Brought your Black Parade CD.
that was before the Black, the Black Parade CD.
You just call it the Parade.
Call Me If You Get Lost is amazing. I think all the songs are well produced. The features are great. You've got people like NBA Youngboy on there that people like, I wonder what that song's going to sound like. And, you know, NBA Youngboy are normally like, yeah, we want some real fucking good fucking trap fucking hip-hop, some gangster shit. And then he's in there with this lovely flow, with this lovely fucking beat that he's sampled, like Tyler sampled. And everyone's there like...
Keeps them guessing.
Yeah, and everyone's there like, oh, yeah, this is so nice. It's like, you've gone from this fucking hood out guy to now you're like, oh yeah, this is a song about wanting to talk to a girl, you know, at the picnic and shit. Oh,
wow, Chris Paulton called.
Yeah, this is the Chris Paulton album.
Chris Paulton anthem.
Yeah, but it's got some absolute bangers, and I think the only downside is Rocky was supposed to be on Corsa, my favorite song on the track.
Now this upsets. I've thought about this a lot. This upsets me. This.
What, that he's not on the thing because he's just busy with Rihanna?
Because he's whipped.
Yeah. But listen, I think...
He's sold his mate out for a bird.
Yeah, but they've hung out since. But I think...
But if you're meant to do him a favour...
Yeah, but they
jump on his track, man.
They do spend like all fucking... Well,
I'm residually upset for Tyler about that.
And not only that, I think him and Rocky have one of the best dynamic friendship groups. It's like everyone has... You had like Kanye and Jay-Z. You had Drake and Lil Wayne... Tyler and Rocky.
Rocky's better than Tyler, in my opinion.
I mean, put it this way. What was the last thing Rocky put out?
Don't matter.
It does matter.
I don't know.
It does matter.
I have no idea.
A while ago.
He's too busy piping Rihanna.
Baby. Yeah, but this is the thing. He's sold him out because obviously he said to Rihanna, "You're my everything. I'll do everything for you." And she went, "Prove it." And he's obviously just, in the most literal word, just cut off everyone and being like, "Yeah, but you can't say that." It's
wrong word, but
they're the sexiest couple. They're the sexiest.
I don't care, man. Where's your fucking stand? Like, be true to yourself.
But you don't need to, does it? Because he's already... But like I said, but with Corsa, that's the only downside, that he's not in it. But other than that, I think everything's great in it. The storytelling's amazing on it. The visuals on the music videos are great. The aesthetic, the way Tyler's gone. Everyone wanted another like Ego album, and I loved Ego, but I was like, I still want Tyler to rap sometimes about shit that isn't just like, you made my earthquake,
Dog shit. That.
It's amazing. Still amazing. But yeah, Corsa is just, I think, my favorite Tyler song of all time.
Wow.
And it's on...
Named after the Vauxhall.
Yeah, and it's on Call Me If You Get Lost, which...
Stream it now.
Amazing, yeah. That was my number, 4?
Number 4. My number 4, and the last rap album on my list. Now, this guy certainly don't get any respect from the youth of today, but he got a lot of respect when I was younger. And it's maybe because he hasn't put out anything good since 2013, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
There's a couple of good singles. We spoke about it earlier. My album is The Eminem Show. Now, if I discovered this album today, it probably wouldn't make it anywhere near this list. But because I discovered it when it came out, when I was maybe 8 or something, and I used to listen to it in my room playing with toy cars, literally playing with fucking toy. I used to do this thing. It's a long story. But
I hope they were Hot Wheels.
No, some of them were
Matchbox.
The Burger King Hot Wheels actually. But anyway, so Eminem Show. Yeah. I think while there's a bit of comedy in there, it's not quite as raw as like the Marshall Mathers LP. Yeah. But it just hit me at a time in my life where I was, I was still discovering this kind of stuff, and there's not really much more to say. It's
so many people.
I can put the Eminem Show on, and there's some really good, meaningful songs on there. Like,
I think if
Haley's song, or Say Goodbye to Hollywood. And then there's some really good like party songs like Without Me. Yeah. Sing for the Moment is one of the former category.
I think what else is on there.
Business. You've got
Toy Soldier's not on there, is it?
No, that's on Encore.
And that's not. It's also not got Mockingbird, has it?
No, Mockingbird's Encore as well. What else is on there? One Shot, Two Shot, When the Music Stops. There's a great one. Am I thinking of? Oh, My Dad's Gone Crazy. Yeah. Just a brilliant album and really significant in my upbringing. Yeah. Without that album, there's a lot of other music I wouldn't have discovered. I love Eminem. I truly do believe him to be the greatest of all time. Yeah. And I'm ashamed to say that people now see that as a bit of a incorrect statement, because it was certainly a correct statement when I was growing up.
People are fucking wild because
Eminem hasn't helped himself. Yeah. He's put out some real dog shit.
Yeah, don't get this.
But he will always be the greatest of all time. He could put out dog shit for 20 more years and he'll always be the best.
The only thing I have bad to say about Eminem is that the man just is out of touch with making good music now. And I think it's when he
It's just a game for him now, though. That's the thing. It's just a game.
I think it's just because
he doesn't even market his albums, mate. He just
do any,
puts them out, bang, there you go. He's just having... He's already paid.
Funny shit anymore, and that is it.
He's already paid. He's already... Most people's greatest of all time. He's just doing whatever the fuck he wants.
But this
and I respect that. While I think a lot of it's shit,
I always say the funny era of Eminem is the best era.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is.
It is not.
It is.
That funny era of Eminem where he's doing the accents, even he'll tell you that's shit. No, when he came back off that shit and did Recovery and the Marshall Mathers LP2, gold dust.
Listen, is Space Bounce on that?
Spacebound is on Recovery.
Fucking shit.
It's great. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, right, cool. So we're now in the top 3.
The top 3, mate. The big uns. No more rap from me.
I've only got one other rap in my top 3, but this one is by arguably the greatest British band in the world.
The Beatles.
From my own city. Favorite worst nightmare. Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys, eh?
Oh my god. Now there's a lot of debate. What's the best Arctic Monkeys album? And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm here to tell you it's wrong. Because Favorite Worst Nightmare is so fucking good. Just go think about that track list now. You've got
Brian Storm.
D is
Teddy Pickers.
Yeah, D is
for Dangerous. D is for Dangerous. Maybe Arctic Monkeys' best song. No, it's not. Certain Romance, but
what you got on there? House of the Circus.
House of the Circus. Balaclava. 505. Only Ones Who Know. This is not in order, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other good ones on there.
I think it is just banger for banger for banger for banger. I think it's at a time where they put out. Everyone was everyone wanted him. Everyone wanted to listen to him.
Yeah,
Everyone wanted to see him.
They were the hottest band in the world.
They pleased everyone. They even pleased your dads. You know,
yeah, even the dads liked them.
It was a time where everyone just really liked this band. They didn't take themselves too serious. Turner weren't super cunty yet, even though that helped him out in the future. And they really gave a shit about what they were putting out because they were like, we're the Arctic Monkeys. We know we're hot shit, but here's another banger. And they put it out, and then after...
they had a bit of swagger. Yeah. They had like the right amount of arrogance.
They were doing like the I love you, will you marry me? Like merch. Remember where you fucking put on the shirt from the bridge in Sheffield?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so in Sheffield, there used to be anyone who been to Sheffield like a while ago or is from Sheffield knows there's a bridge at the Parkhill Flats that used to have, I can't remember what her name were, but it was kind of faded out. So it was mainly, I love you, will you marry me? And it's a big thing in the history of Sheffield.
Interesting.
And the Parkhill Flats have recently been renovated and they've just got rid of it. They've got rid of it, and it's a massive thing. You could see it from pretty much anywhere in Sheffield. And Turner wore like a shirt a couple of times that just said that on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And it really like
I might get one of them.
It really like made everything even go more wild. And everyone, if you're from fucking Yorkshire, you're a football hooligan. You're from Sheffield. You like some British rock music. What's not to love about Arctic Monkeys? And that album, like I said, for me, I can't fault it. If you can fault it, good for you. But you're wrong, because you can't fault it.
I think I can fault it.
What are you going to fault it with?
I think they really lose some of their... I think half of that album, for me, I just don't care about.
No,
Controversially, 505 is so overrated. Only ones who know, shit. Balaclava, shit.
No.
Old Yellow Bricks,
wrong.
Shit.
Wrong.
House is a Circus,
wrong.
Shit. Do Me a Favor,
wrong.
Shit. Now, there's great on there. There's some gold on there.
Well, what's your favorite
song on there?
Favorite album.
Coming in at number 3 on my list, we have truly the greatest indie album to ever be made. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. Now,
too many commercial bangers on there.
But mate, it encapsulates that era that will never be caught again by any other band, because no one had done it like the Arctic Monkeys before. And because Arctic Monkeys exist, every other band that comes up, look at the ratings, right?
Yeah,
I've heard some ratings, really good,
brilliant.
But you're just thinking, they've heard the Arctic Monkeys, and I don't blame them. I'm the same. I'm so influenced by that.
Anyone who has
yeah, but the thing is, this is the album where you can't do that, where you can't say, because this is the Arctic Monkeys.
Guess what? That's fine. And that's fine.
Dance Floor, yeah, incredibly overplayed, excellent. First guitar solo I ever learned.
Yeah.
View from the Afternoon. That's what the podcast's called.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Right at the end, Certain Romance is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Mardy Bum.
Mardy Bum.
But
guess what?
For people at the back.
Guess what? The problem is all amazing songs.
Yeah.
Overplayed. And how you know that? Go to a beer keller or a pop world.
Fake Tales of San Francisco, mate.
All good
Are you
songs,
kidding?
All good songs, but it's the album that a non-Arctic Monkeys fan would say, oh, I love the Arctic Monkeys. And you say, name some songs. All from that album, because they never listened to anything else.
I would rather meet an Arctic Monkeys fan and know some songs together.
Listen.
When someone goes to me, I'm an Arctic Monkeys fan, I don't want to, I'm not going to go, what's track 6 of Tranquility Base?
But I don't want just the ones that they heard when they were out with a fucking nan. Because
what's that's Teddy Pickering. What's the other one with the what do you know? You know, Still Take You Home. That's on that album.
Is it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Right.
But you know what? It's interesting. We both got Arctic's first and second album at number 3.
Yeah, because like
there's something beautiful about that.
They are just like, if you've got a problem with like, if anyone at home's got a problem with that, just like, listen. They have made music that's had such a big impact on both of our lives, and it's a great connection. And also, I kid you not. You go anywhere and any of their songs come on, you're gonna have a good time.
And if when they headline Leeds,
yeah,
if they don't end with Certain Romance, I'm gonna trash the place.
would you rather? So if it's not Certain Romance, what's the backup that it could be? Because you have to
Are
think.
You Mine, innit?
It's Are You Mine or maybe
not 505.
No,
please.
I don't
Get it
think
in the
you'll ever.
fucking
I don't
bin.
think you'll see 505.
Well, they used to do, didn't
as
they?
Yeah, but I'm saying like now, I would put maybe.
I think
Get on your
start,
dancing shoes.
Start Treatment was the end.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
think they'd do
because it's a song where I don't know where they would fit that in now.
Dancing Shoes, they put it in like a few songs in, don't they? In the set.
Yeah,
list.
but I think it'd be nice as the ending one because it keeps people entertained towards the end. If you
It just don't work. It would never work.
Or
as an
Crying
ending one,
Lightning.
mate. Also, Dancing Shoes, first album, that mate. I'll tell you what's shit. Not. I'll tell you what is admittedly shit off that first album. Not the. Oh, you probably couldn't see for the lights, but you were looking right at me. That's a shit song.
I'm trying to think what else is.
That's it then.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Let's move on to number 2.
Yeah, go on then. My number 2, you're gonna hate me for this, and
Yeah.
everyone listening or watching is also gonna hate me. It's already been said. I think this is
Already been
the
said.
greatest rap album to come out while I'm still alive. It
Can't
is
think what
Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh,
Kendrick
no
Lamar.
way.
I can't fault it.
I'm well impressed
I
with
didn't
that.
want to overstep my boundaries while you were just like explaining
I
why.
appreciate that.
Because I was like, well, it's also on my list. But yeah, I think it's amazing. I think that really brought back a sound that was lost for a long period of time. And when I say it was lost, it started getting a bit too radio-y and a bit too flexing, but not flexing in like a gangster way, just flexing like ice on my neck and shit like that.
Yeah.
And Kenny really brought it back to a place of rap.
He's real.
Yeah,
it's the realest thing that came out in ages.
If you're doing hip hop rap, or it's arguably like gangster rap, it should always come from a place of story. It should always come about talking about, if it's not yourself, it's about a character you wanted to create for everyone, or so. Not about, because like I said, you have a lot of artists that are just like, oh, I do this, clever wordplay, corny lines. Kenny don't do corny lines.
Modern day Eminem.
And that's why, like, for me, like, I think if you got Eminem, that is like, let's say the noughties era of the GOATs.
Artist of the decade.
Then I think Kenny's the artist of the decade for us. And the only way I maybe wouldn't say he is if he puts out some weird shit.
Well, there must be a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
I thought Dan was great.
I thought Dan was incredible, but I also thought the fucking Black Panther like album was
the
great.
bits I've heard, that has been good.
And for me, it's like, I love Section 80. You know, ADHD is my favorite song on there.
Section 80 is great.
But like I said, Good Kid, Mad City is just a masterpiece. And Now or Never is one of my mum's favorite songs.
Yeah, I know she likes
She's
that
a
one.
massive Mary J. Blige fan. So when they collided, she was like starstruck. I think the story and the skits are so believable that once again, you dissociate from everything around you and really
you
put
are.
yourself.
It's
You're
like
in the
watching
back
a
of that
film.
car. You're in the back of the.
In the back of the Toyota.
No, what's the?
Oh, the van.
The van.
In the back of the van.
Yeah,
I
what-
don't know,
what-
I think it's a Chrysler. on the
Yeah,
front.
it really makes you feel like you're there, like you're an invisible presence there, just really living in that fucking thing. And I also think it's mental that like Kenny before that album still had connections with people like, you know, The Game and stuff like that he knew from when he was younger. And that, now you look at this shit with like, you got like Baby Keem, that it's not my personal cup of tea. I like some of his songs,
Yeah, not
but
mine.
but related to fucking Kenny.
Cousin, right?
Yeah, but like how mental is like he's really in that. A lot of people have to try and network and like find a way to associate. Oh, we met.
I mean, he's
blah, blah,
from
blah.
Compton,
Yeah.
isn't he? He's like from the realest.
And he's like
that it gets.
It's like there's like a Nardwar interview where he's like talking about his favorite chicken shop, and he's like, that's the place. That's the place where the homies go and shit like that.
How you know that, man? Hey, what up? Hey, it's me, Kendrick Lamar. I just
Right.
come on to play some Grand Theft Auto real
Guys,
quick.
is that Kenny or is that Michael?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, you fan of my music or what, man?
Can I play something for you real quick?
Hey, who your favorite rapper, boy?
But like I said, it's
I remember you was conflicted. Misusing your influence.
Shut up, right? It is literally a masterpiece again. It is
big up.
amazing, and I'm so happy I own it on vinyl. I'm so happy that I was alive when it came out. I'm so happy that my dad showed me that album because it's one of the rare few times my dad's only shown me like 3 albums ever that really made me go, wow, who is this and shit. And it's Kendrick with Good Kid, Mad City. He used to play it on repeat in his car because it was one of his favorite albums. It was A$AP Rocky. What was
Long Live A$AP?
Yeah. And also it was, Jesus Christ, why can't I think of his name? Oh, MF Doom, Operations Doomsday. So, big up.
He's got some good taste.
My dad for showing me that. Yeah, but then you start listening to Ed Sheeran. And I was
Ed Sheeran's one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
The pieces.
Right, let's crack on because this camera's running out of battery.
Ooh, shit.
We've gone on for a while.
Yeah.
My number 2, is it?
Yeah.
My number 2 is a really good fucking album. It is excellent. It's incredibly emotional. It's incredibly rock. It's incredibly pop. It's unapologetic, and it's great. I can't speak highly enough of this album. I like it when you sleep, for you are so beautiful yet so unaware of it. Come on, man. Love Me. A Change Your Heart. She's American. Do I need to go on?
I'll respect.
Because I can.
I'll respect.
Ballad of Me and My Brain.
As your
Nana and She Lays Down at the end as you were just having a tear.
Evening, I will respect your choice and your decision.
The self-titled instrumental, Paris.
You know how I feel about the 90s.
God, that's a fucking good album.
I just think they all sound too similar, too poppy, and just pretentious, man. Just like, don't get me wrong, I've explained to you, I can see the talented. I can see the switched on. I can see they've got amazing talent. They know how to write a song. I just think all the songs just sound so similarly.
But if you get it right once, mate,
then
it's right every time.
Don't fix what's not broken, but
I appreciate your viewpoint. I can see why people do think that.
I understand how big of an influence and how big they are to people who are the fans or enjoy that type of music. They are literally superstars in the rights of. I see all the fucking shows they put on, and everyone's going mental, having a good time. And I'm like, you know what? You're doing an amazing job if you can do that.
You're doing an amazing job, Matty.
You do, Matty. If you're listening to this,
get back on the heroin. I want another album as good as this one.
But you know what I mean? They are doing good, and like I said, they're putting good songs out, just not for everyone. And that's all I'll say on the matter. Other than, God, there's only ever been one 1975 song on my iPhone.
What's that?
And it was People, because it didn't sound like it. Because it didn't sound like a 1975 song, and I went, I like that one.
That is good.
But the one where it's like, baby,
another brilliant
if you
album.
take off your clothes, doesn't do anything for me.
Well, what's your number 2?
I've just said my number 2.
Oh, is it your number 1?
We're now on to the number 1.
All right, mate. Well, it's been a long journey, this.
Maybe the
longest podcast episode we've ever done. Maybe not.
Wait, the commentary for the film.
Maybe, I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway.
Certainly one of the most fun.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
I could talk about this shit. Let me know if you want to know my bottom 10 albums ever.
Well, no, we've got one more to say for another day.
We've got a few more categories. We could do TV shows.
No, we've got games, haven't we?
We got games already done.
Yeah, maybe we could whack one of them out. Not now, obviously, you fucking idiot, before you give me...
I'm tired.
Listen, so my number 1 is an album by an artist that means the absolute world to me. I cry every time I listen to this album, at least once.
Oh, I know who it is.
This man is elusive. He's the right way of avoiding fame, unlike, Damon thingy from Blur.
Damon Albarn.
Yeah.
His way was just being a prick.
Yeah, and also just being like, I don't want any part of this. I'm just gonna make a fictional band that can fill in the voids.
What an idiot.
Yeah, but he's cool still.
I don't think he's cool at all.
But this man has put out 2 albums, and I think, what was it, 1 EP? I don't know if it's an EP or what, but these 2 albums are amazing. But there's the first one really fucking turned my world upside down. I'm talking about Frank Ocean, Channel Orange. Now, this
nice album cover.
Is incredible.
Nice album cover.
And not only is it incredible and has a nice album cover, the intro has the PlayStation 1 startup sound there.
Perfect.
And it's brilliant. But it's and then it has like some fucking arcade noises as well. That sounds like Street Fighter. But anyway, it has a perfect track list. His voice is incredible. A lot of people say Blonde's his best work, but I think they're really overlooking the brilliance that Channel Orange brought. It has some of the best songs ever. It has Thinking About You, which is a masterpiece in, I don't know, like range of his voice. It has Pink Matter, my favorite song that I used to drive around with my mum at like 1 a.m. when I couldn't sleep and I felt suicidal, and we just drive around and listen to that song, and I would scream the lyrics as loud as possible. It has Andre 3000 in it doing the fucking bass. That's sexy as fuck.
American Wedding?
No, American Wedding's on that.
No, ignore me.
But it has Golden Girl as a secret bonus track that is not featured on the track list unless you listen all the way to the last song and then it comes on. So you will never hear, like, you won't notice that unless you fucking look for it. I'm trying to think what else it has. Bad Religion, which is an emotional roller coaster. It fucking is in the best way. It's like going to see what I imagine going to see a famous play or opera piece that's like out of this world that everyone stands up and gives like a standing ovation. For me, that album is that. I can't fault it. It has super rich kids. His voice, his style of music that is produced to go along with his voice, and the type of person he is, and the lyrics are so well packaged together that I could never not think this isn't the album of my life. Like this isn't the number one for me. I can remember watching him do the live performance. I think it was the Grammy with the screen. I don't know if the Grammys or somewhere else. He had like a screen where it looked like he was running, like doing the Forrest Gump run. Because he's got,
I like that film.
Well, he's got a song called Forrest Gump, and it's just honest to God a magical album. It's
very passionate about it.
Yeah, it's one of those that you could. I mean, you don't have to smoke weed. I'm not saying smoke weed, but I mean,
definitely not saying that.
If you were fucked up in your room, or you're going through
playing GTA Online,
or you're going through a breakup, or you're fucking miserable, or you're happy as can be, put that album on and you will be either sobbing or fucking at inner peace with yourself by the end of that album.
One of the two.
Yeah, I had when I discovered it with my friends, it was like our summer song, like summer album. Like that album encapsulates that summer I spent with like my school friends. It was just when I was not staying at my mum's, when I was at my grand's while she was away. It was when I was just getting up to bad shit. It was when I were starting to feel like fuck love, but also I really want love. It's when I was fucking like all over the place, just getting high, fucking doing cocaine, all this shit, just to feel something. And that album truly made me feel something, and it still does. And like I said, you like Blonde, that's cool. I love Blonde too. It's just the Channel Orange means so much to me that I was debating getting it just tattooed on my fucking body somewhere, because it is just a square album that says nice Channel Orange, and it's just orange. But hey ho. But for me, that is
that's beautifully articulated.
Also, didn't one of your exes love fucking Frank Ocean?
She did.
So you're probably resenting that.
No, do you know what? Last time we had this conversation, because you spoke about it so highly and so, poetically, if you will, I added the whole album to my library, but I just haven't got around to listening to it.
Also, for the record, he is a massive icon for everyone in between, for gay people. I can remember like a lot of people, because a lot of his songs it sounds like he's talking about girls, but he came out
Talking about the old forbidden fruit.
He's talking about the same boys, eh? And for me, it's like that. When I was young, I thought
You're thinking of Lil Nas X.
your favorite rapper,
Yeah,
who you met in
your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
But for me, it's like when I first said, "Oh, I love Frank Ocean and stuff," because of who he is. I thought people were gonna be like, "Oh, you like Frank Ocean? You gay boy, you gay boy." They don't. Everyone loves him.
Of course not.
He's great. Yeah, but a lot of people do. Like if you,
That's not what he is, though.
I
is
bet
it?
if you were at
Like,
school,
it's not about.
if you were at school
He's not-
and someone said, "Oh, I love Machine Gun
Yeah,
Kelly,"
I
you'd be
guess-
like, "Good boy, good boy." That's what you do. You're that bully.
But I think people would mock you for liking Machine Gun Kelly and call you that. But I don't think for liking.
Yeah, but
Frank,
it was-
'cause Frank's a true artist.
For me, it was a strange because at school, like people in my era while at school, people did. It was a very like still. If anyone did anything remotely not straight, it was everyone was like ha ha ha, blah blah blah.
I think those days are past us now,
Yeah,
especially in the school.
especially
I mean,
now,
I haven't been in
everyone's-
school for a long time, but
I mean, what are you on about? You picked your girlfriend up there last week.
you behave yourself.
You weren't really on a trip. You were just in jail serving time.
That was your daughter.
Sheesh.
That doesn't help my case.
That does not help your case. Go
Well,
on.
beautifully articulated.
Thank you.
Now picking a number one album of all time is hard to do.
Very hard.
It is hard. Unless you really know it straight away, it's hard to do. And the pretentious person in me wanted to choose an album a bit lesser known by this band, maybe a bit older. And then I really thought about this today, and I thought, in reality, what is my favorite album of all time? And
Can I have a guess?
this is
just before
very,
you say it?
this is very non-binary.
Right.
Ask me in a week, and it'll be an album by this band, but probably a different one. But this is the one I come to today.
Right.
You can have a guess.
Is it Metallica gives you a heavy?
Not at all.
No, really?
Nowhere near.
Biffy Clyro.
I've gone with Only Revolutions by Biffy Clyro. Biffy Clyro's fifth album. Controversial in the Biffy Clyro diehard scene because it's seen as a turning point from when they went from a much more arguably interesting band to a much more radio-friendly band.
Yeah.
But let me just go through this track list. The Captain, That Golden Rule, Bubbles, God and Satan, Born on a Horse, Mountains. That is
that is
the
incredible.
best six-song run you'll ever
They're
see.
some of my favorite Biffy songs as well.
Then you got Shock Shock. Then you got Many of Horror.
Many of horror, of course.
The greatest song ever written, in my opinion. I'm gonna get that tattooed. One
Oh,
day
don't,
I'm
'cause
gonna
a
get
lot of
that.
people-
I'm gonna get a chest piece for that. I swear to God, I'm gonna do it. And then you got Boom Blast and Ruin. And yeah, I love Vertigo Bliss, their second album. One of my favorite Biffy songs, All the Way Down, is on there. And when I want to give a pretentious answer, that's my answer. But if I really look within myself, and if I say, if I was stuck on a desert island with one desert island disc, Only Revolutions, it's gotta be, man. It's gotta be. Many a Horror, The Captain. I love it.
I love God and
I
Satan.
first got into Biffy Clyro when this album came out. They did a live version, Revolutions live at
I
Wembley.
think I have that.
That is my favorite album, but I couldn't include it because it's a compilation. It's a live album. But it has everything off that album there that's good, plus all the other great songs out of their back catalogue. I've got a massive signed poster of it. Revolutions live at Wembley, but because I have to choose a studio album, Only Revolutions
Great
by
choice.
Biffy
Do you know what's
Clyro.
funny is-
what a great record.
What's funny is when I had that guess of Metallica, I genuinely believed you had already said Biffy somewhere because it's like how would you not? But then when you were like, no, I'm talking, I was like, of course it is Biffy Clyro.
Metallica is. I love Metallica. You know, I love Metallica. I love them.
I just thought.
But again, it's that thing of like, because I take this so seriously, too seriously. It's like I have to. If I was being asked by someone, I probably would say Metallica. I'd probably put Master or maybe Ride the Lightning in there. But if I really look within myself, and if I had to take 10 albums onto a fucking desert island with me, would I be taking a Metallica album? The answer is no.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. But like I said, the Biffy one makes sense.
Big
It does make
discussion.
sense. Very big,
Great
very long
discussion.
discussion.
Have a listen to some of these albums if you've not.
Please do.
I'm sure a lot of you have, because that's why you're watching this, because we're probably alike, you, me, and Chuck.
Yeah.
But let us know what your favorite albums are. We'd love to know. If you like this list and this format, it's certainly a more interesting conversation that we've had.
It's a wonderful format.
We've got a few more, as Choccy says. We've already got our list of video games. So if anyone did care about that, wanted to see that, just drop us a comment.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I need a bath, and I need to Google why my face goes red after drinking a beer.
You're getting old.
Well, it's after the Biffy tour.
It's just the blood flushing.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
when I was on
dehydrated
tour with
well.
Jake, on like the second to last night, after like 9 nights of straight up drinking, after a couple of beers, my face would get really red.
Mine does that. It's sweat.
I daren't Google it. I'm going to Google it.
Just gets flushed. Well, you enjoy your bath.
I will do, mate. You enjoy sleeping on my sofa.
Yeah, I will. You know what? I'm trying to think what I'm going to do now. When you go to bed, what am I going to do? Am I going to play chess? Or am I just going to scroll pointlessly on TikTok and Instagram?
Play GTA 3 if you want.
Nah, I gotta be like awake. If I'm like half like kind of like,
All right,
then I start fiddling about.
Well, you don't be having a fiddle on my sofa.
Too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much. We love you. It's lovely to be delivering some content to you. Listen to us on all major platforms and all that jazz. And yeah, that's it from me.
And from me. Good night.